an Italian dessert.
It does, but it sounds like a yummy Italian
It
dessert.
does.
I'm thinking a little bit of drip chocolate syrup, that kind of thing, right? It's got to be that good, right?
Better than tiramisu.
Tiramisu. What exactly is tiramisu?
I'm not sure. I actually have friends who say it tastes like marshmallow, which I don't like marshmallow, so probably bad.
I don't know, but I mean, but I need a bachalo.
Yeah, I need to try.
It sounds like
chocolate.
okay. That's what it is. It's like a frozen dessert, right?
Yeah,
it's kind of like a geppetto. Well, no, that's not right. What are those
I
things
wouldn't want
called?
to eat a geppetto.
They do it. They serve this stuff in New York. We don't really have it. Gelato. That's what I'm trying to think of. I don't know what the hell a gelato is.
It sounds.
I have no idea. It
my
sounds
mind
like
goes
jelly on an ice cream cone.
Yeah, that's where my mind
I
goes.
have no idea what that is.
Although, like, my food taste is incredibly small. I won't even eat sherbet. It sounds like Herbert, and I hate that name.
We say A-bear here in Louisiana. A-bear.
What is that?
Herbert in Cajun.
Oh, whatever.
Or in Southern. I'm not sure how you go with that. Anyway, hey, let's give them a 30 seconds to get prepared to get in here, and then we might do a show today. Sounds good?
Oh, might?
Yeah. We'll see what we're up to.
If we're here after this, so I guess.
The views and opinions expressed within the video content found on the Indie Comics Network are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of the Indie Comics Network or its sponsors.
God, this is your best work? Say this is art.
Great
to
show.
say this is art. To say this is art. No, this is dessert. Isn't that what
Oh, yes. If anyone just got here, they'd be so good.
Hey, our buddy Mike's in the comments. What's up, Mike? So, yeah.
Mikey!
So, anyway, when I was younger, one of the big names that I really enjoyed was Chris Bachalo. Of course, I used to say Bachalo, which apparently is not right. So
what's so great about this Chris Bachalo?
Well, it's the guy you wanted to punch in the face for being so good. So I'll never get to meet him because now we've offended him.
I'm a threat.
Terribly.
I'm a threat.
You are a threat.
Gotta hire extra security when I'm in the building.
But I've actually heard it say now. Do you know Mobius? Okay.
If I say
Mobius, well, he was.
I'm thinking.
I think my mom was saying he was a French artist. He did some of the work for. We've looked at some of the work for Fifth Element.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, I don't know why my mind went to.
So he has so Chris Bachalo has a very simple line, and he's been considered the next Mobius or whatever. But I hate that.
The next.
The next this, the next that, whatever. The next big thing, right? Like Casey Elephant
Why can't
song.
I be the first Jaden, right?
That's what you want to be. You want to be the first you. That's the case is.
That's when you're
you don't want a second you. God, I can only imagine having a second me.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about me. Yeah, having a second you would suck.
Yeah.
But when you're a girl and you're in any industry at all you'll ever hear is like, oh, they're like the female version of this guy. It's what's the difference?
What? Don't call me a female artist. How dare you call me female?
It's that I'm just an artist, okay? There's no need to specify.
Well, that's the issue, right?
It hurts.
People don't want to be you should not want to be the next this or the female this.
No,
I definitely don't want to be the female, you know,
I don't want to be like a female
Gail
Mobius, not
Simone
saying I'm
or
not
the
good.
female, whatever the case is. Gail Simone is a female. That was not a dig at Gail Simone. It was just a joke.
I
But
don't know who that is.
she's a writer, DC writer.
No wonder I don't know.
Right.
Sorry, I'm uncultured.
Anyway, so here's the thing. I've talked about this before. I took you through the 90s
Marvel.
through one of our first earlier episodes. I took you through the 90s. We looked at some of the 90s art. We looked at some of the early art of popular artists, right? We kind of got to see how they progress. And I remember I made the statement that I would like to go back and I'd like to go ahead and check Bachalo at one point in time and kind of break down and look at his stuff. So I figured, why not do that? See, the thing about the popular artists back in the 90s, there are a whole bunch of people still clinging to them. And here's the deal with this.
Especially
People today, your age, and don't give a damn.
I wasn't there.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Their names aren't carrying as much clout. You know, people think they can get these guys to come on interviews and it just draws numbers. And it does draw numbers for older people, but it's not moving anything progressively forward. However, just like anything that should be done in art, you should always look at these folks, especially the classics, to move forward. And Bachalo is still working today. And he's still a draw today. Absolutely. So we're going to pull up some of this stuff. So we've been going over composition, right? We've been going over, using triangles, the thirds, different unique compositions we just did last week. The basics. So I want to kind of pull this out. And we're gonna look over some of Bachalo's work. We're gonna put the rule of thirds on it, see if it works that way. And you know the golden ratio?
The golden ratio.
Yes. Is I have all the money and you have none. That's the golden ratio. Right? No. Oh, you'll be okay. It's nothing to cry
I might
about.
have more money than you right now, to be honest.
To be honest, you might.
I get to save it. Well, you gotta pay for bills and stuff, take care of us. Ew. No wonder you're poor.
Okay, so here we have, and I'm going to try. What I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this down a little bit so we can see the rule of thirds on this. Okay, so the blue. So what I tried to do is I tried to take some of his work, some of his pages. We're not going to go over too much today, so we might actually have a 45-minute episode, like I always try to go for. But yet
that
you
would
won't.
Be a miracle.
But you don't shut up and you keep on talking.
Yeah,
and this is
how
how we
keeps talking.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm.
Anyway,
I'm gonna start counting each word I use, like how many I use in a sentence versus you.
And then that's just going to take up more time. See, like I said, we're not going to have 45 minutes.
It's in my head.
All right. So here's a piece of work that he did. This is obviously some popular characters, right?
Pretty popular.
This guy is Catman versus Black Lizard. So
obviously,
right,
clearly,
yeah.
If you've been into comics for a long time, you probably know this
right
by now.
Right. So okay, so
oh no, I'm corrupted. What happened?
No, it's just the camera. Just
okay.
Ignore it. If it goes work to, we'll just put you on a PNG or something.
All right.
So anyway, here's the deal.
2D.
Well, it's not. I was having camera problems anyway. So put the rule of thirds on it. Now, to be completely honest with you, now to recap what the rule of thirds is, it is a common composition rule of composition. It's not dumb. Why would you say it's dumb?
It never worked for me.
Have you ever tried it?
Yes. It's the only one I know. And it's dumb.
It is dumb. Okay, so we put the rule. I try to use a comic book page. Like the 17. This is a 17 by 11 by 17, which is a typical comic book page with the borders and all that on there.
I have
right?
a feeling I'm about to disappear. I think maybe the chords got messed up.
Okay.
Of course, this is gonna happen live. It was fine. No, I don't want to disappear.
All right, so here's what we're going to do.
All right.
I'm going to unplug you, and we're going to move it in. But so anyway, what you do is We are very professional, and that's how we do things.
That is so.
We'll just have you right there like that.
No.
Absolutely. That's how we're going to do it. So I'm going to try to put you on. Okay. Well, like I said, so rule of thirds is considerably is a common thing. It's a common
Technique. I'm a stupid.
I am not getting a response out of this.
People are still coming in. We got time.
Yeah. Well, I might be about to shut the whole thing down, actually.
Oh no.
So okay. I'll tell you what. We'll do it like this. You can't see us.
All right.
All right. We got camera problems. Just deal with it. Okay. So here's the deal. I put the rule of thirds on here, and I can't really mesh on this page the rule of thirds. All right.
This is the right.
Huh?
This is the cord to my camera.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah. I don't know what cord you moved.
Beats the hell out of me. Who knows?
We're not professionals.
Yeah, no.
We identify as professionals.
What's up, Ephraim? So I'm at this point, I'm forgetting the show's botched.
Oh, yes.
So whatever, man.
It fits the theme.
Huh?
Fits the theme.
Yeah, it happens.
Botching stuff.
You can't have blockbusters every time. You don't hit it at the park every time. I mean, it just doesn't happen that way. So again, we got camera issues. If you're just tuning in, blah blah blah. We're watching over Bachalo. Let's try this again. I think one thing that really works well, when you stop messing with the shit, you're gonna freaking unplug something that you don't need to unplug. And next thing you know, they're not going to hear us either. Can you leave it alone? Can you leave it alone? Thank you. Just leave it alone.
Okay.
Just leave it alone.
I worked so hard on my makeup. It's okay. Continue.
Just leave it alone.
Yes, sir.
So anyway, let me see what I can do.
Golden ratio. Are we muted?
No, I'm messing around.
All right.
This, and I can't get your camera to come up.
That's all right.
So anyway, I mean, so one thing that gets me is that there's no rule of thirds here, right? To me, in that sense, you maybe Wolverine's where he's at, and of course, rule of thirds is not a diehard thing. Huh?
Because it's stupid.
Why is it okay? All right, let's get into it. Why is it stupid?
Because it's just
Other than the fact that you're a fucking Gen Z,
whatever.
and you just throw out there that something is stupid. Tell me why it's stupid. Give me a reason why. Why is the rule of thirds stupid?
Because it's dumb. I feel
Rule
like
of thirds helps to get an idea for composition. You know that whole saying, and it's a true saying. If you have to know the rules before you can break them.
well, yeah.
Okay, that's the case here.
It's like the third time we've used that phrase on here.
Well, but that's because it's true.
I don't know. I just feel like it kind of doesn't matter. Like, to me, it's always been, if you understand where everything is, because I feel like even if as a beginner you would, it doesn't matter. It feels like every rule to the rule of thirds it happens by coincidence anyways. Like whether you have the overlay.
Have you ever seen bad art?
I've looked at my old sketchbooks.
Okay, have you ever seen bad art?
Yeah.
Other people's bad art.
Yeah.
And you notice that it just feels like something's off. It's usually because it has no structure or composition to it, really, an intelligent design. Now, yes, you can absolutely naturally put this stuff together. The question that I used to ask on Comics by Night was, why do you think that they did that way? Oh, it's just, and the answer that I consistently got was, oh, it's natural. They just did it, right? Okay, so then I realized I'm asking the wrong question. The question doesn't come in on why did they decide to put something there. The question is, why does it work?
Okay.
Okay. Now you can have a natural feel for composition. All right, and it will just naturally fit into that rule. But there are going to come a point in time where you're not going to be able to get what you're looking for. And that's where it comes into where compositions come into rules of compositions come into play. So this also helps you to expand your vocabulary of art to understand why this works.
Okay.
Okay?
So what you're saying is I'm a natural and I didn't need it to begin with.
Sure, whatever, if you feel like that. So here we go. Now here's what I want to do. I'm going to take the rule of thirds off because I'm going to actually show you that there is a compositional base here. But right now, what I want to try to do is actually, I want to pull out the blacks on this. Shut up.
wait. I didn't think that till you said that.
But here's the deal. I'm going to do this. Boom. What I'm going to do is I want to pull out the really solid blacks. Okay?
Whew, I hope you never become an inker.
You know, this is just, wow, I'm live. Why would you even say stuff like that?
You should hire my dad. He is very good at what he
Whatever,
does.
shut up.
Not as good as Bachalo, but
Ugh. This one was really interesting here, right? Now, so I know this is real fun. Everybody enjoys watching this. But we want to balance these, right? So those are some pretty solid blacks. I didn't really get into, I'll even go so far as to hit this a little bit. And these. I think I'll know how I'll do this next time. All right. Let's take that off. Okay. Now I want to put the rule of thirds on there. All right. Do you see the balance here?
no.
No. Okay. Instead of the balance being this way, the balance is more like this, right? And it's almost asymmetrical in a sense.
Well, it is.
Unhinged says people who don't know some rules yet do them, just have a good eye of composition. The rules are there even if you don't know it. So it's not stupid since you automatically do it.
Thanks, Dad.
People aren't going to like you. I'm just telling you that now.
And that's the goal.
Oh, okay. You're one of those. But okay, so we have a balance here on the blacks, right? That's one thing that I've seen Dave Gibbons, who did Watchmen, another artist you don't know. He will set the blacks first and then come in and put the rest of the composition in.
Okay.
Well, I have no idea what you're doing. I have no idea how that's possible. I really don't. But he does it.
Interesting.
It is. It's very interesting.
I want to see this.
So, but here, I'm going to put on something else here. And again, Bachalo might not even be on those, this is the rules that I'm going to use for this, right? It's quite possible. But there is a natural composition to it that makes this work. And here it is. This one, you don't see it too terribly much. I think this is on blacks, but this is the golden ratio, right?
Right.
Okay, this is supposed to be the perfect composition design.
Which you can apply to almost anything.
Well, right. But I think what's interesting about this page is what really focuses, which the focus on it is really it comes up to Wolverine because that's what you're focusing on, right? Okay, let's move on. So we have steampunk. All right. Now we've talked about steampunk. Steampunk is his own original work, whatever the case is, it came out. What I think is interesting about this is you do have a lot of solids.
Yeah.
Let's call them solids, okay?
I think that's what they are called.
They're solid blacks. You have this here. A little bit here, there. Nope, that didn't work.
We're done. Oh, there we go.
There we go.
Spilled the ink all over the page.
Is that what that was? I thought I deleted the whole thing. Solid here. We'll say maybe her hair. And of course, he's got this down here.
I mean, there's actually not a lot of solids.
There's not. It's really not. It's really broken up. But I kind of want to know, are we seeing...
It looks like a sad face. Or
There's a
Pac-Man on
composition
hill.
for you, the sad face composition.
Aw. That might be a thing.
That might be a thing.
Or we just made it.
Hey,
Dude.
whatever. Whatever you want to do. If you want to make
I'll
a
be
sad
using
face
it in the
composition.
future.
Let's see, in here. Down here. All right, let's take that down.
He's pretty sparing with the way he uses his solids.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of artists just go ham.
But even this is a balance in between there, right? You have a lot more black art. You have a lot more black on the bottom than you do on the top.
That's true.
So it brings it. It's almost. If you look at it, it's almost vertical. Like, let me see if I can. Boom. Like it's it's almost that flow.
Is there a golden ratio here? I don't know why I said that way. Don't bring attention to it.
A good golden ratio?
Shut up. A golden ratio?
Okay, let's look.
I'm going to hold back an accent.
I don't know.
I guess it can't be applied to everything.
Well, that's
Maybe
not
if it was
necessarily
upside
true.
down.
Well, okay, let's take this. Let's do this. Instead of looking at it as a whole on the golden ratio, let's go ahead and take it and do this.
Ooh. Yeah, that makes sense.
But let's turn it around. Let's maybe this way.
So it doesn't have to be the same all the time?
No, absolutely not. The golden ratio is not about being in a it has to be vertical or it has to be horizontal or whatever.
I do have a question.
Yes, sure.
When it comes to composition, it's definitely more it's definitely better to have everything off center, isn't it? Because I feel like in a lot of composition tips, the tip is never for something to be perfectly centered.
Well, typically, absolutely yes. However, there is plenty of times where you actually use that anti-idea against itself. For instance, let's talk about this piece. And I'm going to put the thirds on it.
Okay, well, they're perfectly in the center.
Exactly.
But nothing else is.
Exactly.
Everything else is off.
Because here's the composition on this. It's not even a rule of thirds in the instance. If you really, what you're trying to hit is not necessarily where the lines meet, but where the lines are. Like her eye line is right there in that
that's
thirds.
true, yeah.
Same thing with the skull's eye lines. So this is really just to help you get the idea of what's going to be pleasing to other people.
Maybe I should revisit this method.
Maybe you should. Maybe you
Well,
should.
now that you think I should, I don't want to.
Oh, okay. You know what sucks? I can't throw stuff at you and people see it.
Aw. Well, you throw stuff at me no matter what.
You know, the issue comes in with this kind of stuff. It's very hard.
To be abusive live because someone might call the police.
Well, no, I don't mind that. Nope. Because we're not doxxed. I don't mind.
Oh,
I can be abusive to you online or offline. It doesn't really matter.
Well, you're not doxxed yet, but I do know where you live.
Which is crazy because I've tried to hide it from you your entire life.
Mm-hmm. Didn't work.
So let's have a common natural thing. And I would love to put compositions like this together. I don't really feel like I'm
What?
I don't know. I don't feel like I'm talented enough for this.
Well, okay. Talent is a concept. I'm going to say it. I don't think talent's a real thing. Talent is just having the drive to learn.
Oh, man. I can't tell you how many times I've had that argument with people.
What? You don't think talent's a thing?
No, I don't think talent's a thing.
What? I I'm actually.
Wait a minute. Isn't that what you just said?
Yes. No. Shut up.
So-
I'm just so confused. You're confusing my mouth. Look.
I'm confusing your
You're
mouth.
confusing my mouth words. You think talent is a thing?
No.
Now
Not
I'm
in the
confused.
sense. No, not in the sense that you. I'm like what's his name? That stupid Ratatouille chef.
Was Goose?
Gustav.
Gustav?
Gustav Gaston.
Not the rat. Damn it! That's the only one I know.
It's rat. Everybody knows.
Yeah, Ratatouille.
But no.
Like anyone can. be an
Yeah, you
artist.
know.
But okay, but
I'm looking it up. That's what I'm doing right now.
you're doing some research for the guy from
No, that's not
Ratatouille.
the one I want. Who is the chef in Ratatouille?
Which one?
Gusteau.
Gusto. I think
Gusteau.
we basically said.
All right, so like Chef Gusteau, anybody can cook.
Mhm.
That's a horrible French accent, and
Oh,
I
terrible.
apologize to anybody who
Is
may
that
be
what you
French
were
or has
trying to
French
do?
in them.
I thought you were choking. I can't believe you were chewing a French.
And yet
accent.
you were just sitting there, right? You're just going to watch me die.
What did you think I was gonna do?
But I do think that anybody can draw. Now the question is how fast. I think talent comes in with how fast they're able to,
Adapt,
to
catch up, pick up on things.
right, exactly.
But the thing is, there are stuff like there are definitely fast learners, but there is going to be stuff that no matter what, people are going to struggle with
Right.
in art. I mean, you could be really good at learning one thing is super fast, and then you could spend the rest of your life trying to learn one thing. It just depends. I think talent, and I hate when people tell me that I'm naturally gifted because shut up, I worked really hard to be here. Don't you even try to tell me that.
Yeah,
I appreciate it. I get where they're coming from.
you're naturally gifted.
Shut up. No, I'm not. You supported me when I was doing crayon drawings at 6 years old. That's what kept me being an artist. It's having the drive to learn. If you want to be an artist, you got to be willing to learn and
Yeah.
feel stupid all the time. That is talent to me.
What is that?
Upside down.
Upside down what? What does it look like?
Well, I don't know. What is it? What are you trying to tell me? This
Well,
is
okay.
so
What
cryptic.
when we looked over compositions for Andrew and Loomis last week.
Mhm.
All right.
Oh, you're asking me like what composition this would be?
Or what does that look like? What comes to mind when you see that? Anybody can answer.
Kind of looks like an E.
An E?
Yeah.
You think it's an E?
I don't know. The way like okay, so that's poking out at the top. I mean, it could be a C too.
Really? Is that what you see?
Well, I'm also considering her in the middle. So maybe
Well, stop.
maybe it's a small detail. Oh, is this a J? Oh my god. I feel so seen.
Huh? Yes, because he meant that.
I should
Exactly.
copyright
That's
this.
exactly what he meant. He meant for you. No, and that's what I think this composition is.
Oh, probably.
Now-
It's upside down.
Now this is the actual. This is not the way it goes. This is the way it goes. But yeah, it's an upside down J, and I bet you, I would bet money that that's probably the thought that he had here. Because what the hell is this?
What is
No,
it?
I mean seriously, what is this? Okay, you have
Orange
some
peel
skulls,
wrapped around
and
some skulls.
and then there's this, and he likes to do those little break lines in there, which I love. Don't get me wrong. Just don't stop, Chris.
I don't think he was gonna.
I don't think so either.
He's not looking for your support.
I pressed. You're probably right. But I love the little break lines that he adds in there. The grays here. Now you know what gets me about this is what art does is to trick people's brain into seeing something that they don't necessarily see.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the key. We're magicians.
And the gray here is like, okay, I always want to try to be more structured with my shading, and I think I'm doing it wrong.
Really?
I do.
Maybe I'm doing it wrong.
Well, no, I mean, like for instance, okay, let's look at her. Let's look at her arm, right?
Already?
Now it's almost like a cell shading,
Oh, yeah.
but it's not following any muscle tone or anything else like that. And I don't know how well people can see it out there, but I'm gonna
It's so faint. You can barely notice it.
well, yeah,
It doesn't really add much form to the arm. I wonder why he chose to put it there.
because I think that's what the light dictated.
You're probably right.
But it does add to it, and this is also an image off the internet. He uses 2 tones of gray here,
Mm.
I just kind of wonder, am I being too hard on myself to get those
Probably.
shades in?
Probably.
I feel the same way when I do color.
Mm.
Like sometimes I'll come back with color, and I'll look at stuff, and I'll be like, oh, well, that's not as bad as I thought it was, because color sucks.
Oh, it does. It sucks really bad, but it's the only thing I know how to do. Coloring is really weird because I think as long as you know values, you know the form of a 3D object, which as an artist you should know anyways, even if you're coloring it or not, you're good. Like you can mess with hues and stuff, but shading especially is just about knowing 3D form. It really is. And then you can imagine any light, any shading, like any shadow, and you should be fine.
Right. Okay.
It kind of just pops into your head all at once. It's really hard to explain, but I remember when it clicked for me. And I'm not that good. I'm still learning, but it does click once you figure it out.
Now here's an interesting thing here. Okay. So this is from Doctor Strange. So this is obviously his rendition. This is his rendition of Benedict Cumberbatch.
Ew.
But I really love his Doctor Strange art.
There's a lot of blacks here.
This is I think 2019, 2018, something like that. So this is more recent Bachalo, right?
Recent Bachalo.
But there's a lot of negative space,
Which I love.
well, it's brilliant, right?
And colors would ruin that.
But I think we could put this on here. Let's put the golden ratio on here. Because like I said, I don't want to take long on this. I want to go ahead and do, our 45 minutes and get out.
Yeah,
because there's not.
I'm not even on camera anymore.
Oh, I'm sorry. But when I put the golden ratio this way, I think it was this way. Yeah.
Play elevator music.
Oh, you got elevator music. You want elevator music? Wait, hold on. I got you.
Oh god,
What?
I sent him off on something.
What? You can't hear it.
Oh, then what's the point? I'm not supposed to sit here and watch you in real time.
Here, you can listen to it through here. I need to get speakers for this thing.
Oh, just as boring as I thought.
Yeah, absolutely.
This will put me to sleep.
Good. Finally.
Hey, watch your tongue.
But I think
I'm
the
close
golden
enough to my-
ratio actually works well here. Because what you see here, almost a balance. Because you have more complicated forms and structures here. And I would go up on you, but my freaking Clip Studio is.
No, I can see it.
Yeah. Well, let's see if I can.
There's a lot of panels on this one page.
Yes. Well, what's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, that's about.
It's one of the more complicated pages that we've seen.
But you see, it's a little right here is more of an empty space, right? It kind of goes up. It flows through here, like. Come on, man. All right, so you have it, and then you just got this complicated twirl in there, all right?
I'll never look at spirals the same.
Huh?
I'll never look at spirals the same.
Never looked. You never did after Uzumaki anyway.
I couldn't even finish.
Uzumaki?
Yeah, I got maybe
Which-
in.
Jujutsu.
I
Right.
mean, you would. He's all over the place, as he deserves. But he scares the living hell out of me.
But I really like, like his line work here. And I'll take this here. And
You know, there was one thing.
like here, these little. Hell, right again.
So he was was Steamboat, right? That was his book.
Well, yeah, him and somebody else.
I remember when you showed me the colorless pages for that.
Yeah.
It blew my mind, and I won a punch in the face.
Right. Yeah.
But the colors, I love colors so much. But for some reason, it just kind of sucked the life out of it. Even though they were good colors, the coloring was not bad, but it felt so distracting. The original had like a bigger impact. I think it was easier to read without the colors.
Yeah.
And I've noticed we're looking at only uncolored pages.
I'm kind of curious, like, to see the shape of the head here. I want to give it a the typical.
Is this Benedict Cumberbatch?
This is Benedict Cumberbatch.
He is a funny looking fellow.
So this is okay. So this is 3/4, right? And we're coming down here. So I want to get. Let's get an idea about his structure, and I think this kind of comes out here a
He's
little
got a
bit more.
pretty long face. Pretty low ear too.
Mm-hmm. So the structure is here. Let's say around that, right? Eye, nose.
Well, he got the
mouth.
far apart eyes. Bring your head
Right.
on.
I don't think it's necessarily Benedict Cumberbatch. I'm just kind of digging to see how those shapes go together on his face, in a way, to get that overall look on how he looks from underneath.
One of my favorite hobbies is tracing over people's faces. I think it really breaks down stuff and kind of gets me over same face syndrome, which I have really bad.
Yeah.
Have for the past couple of years. I don't think you have ever had that problem.
What's that?
Same face syndrome.
You don't think so?
No.
Oh.
Every time I see your stuff, it's a different look.
Look at this guy. Okay. I don't think this is a typical round whatever, right?
Around whatever.
I think this is the shape that he was going for. And this is what we're looking at. I think here's about the side, the head. Boom. And you got your.
It's kind of the shape I use when I draw skulls.
Well, yeah, no, and this is that elongated shape.
Yeah.
That's what people have with the profile problem. That is what's their criminal profile. I like to say it is they don't make that head long enough.
Yeah, they never.
They always want to do this number here. They always want to do this.
Yeah, just the circle straight up.
And this, right?
And it's there's no room for the brain.
Right.
Your character looks like they got no brain.
Or see to the point there now, I can't even really get it. Okay, it's almost like
It looks
the here, the ears here, and
yeah, I used to do this all the time.
right, and this is what you get. It's like, oh, this flag here, but in actuality, just like that, when you do a profile, you want to come out.
It's gotta be like an egg.
Right, pretty much. Your brain's in here, and you're coming down here, jawline. And remember now, your neck's not going to be straight down like this.
No,
You
it's
got
not.
problems.
It's
If your
tilted
neck is that way, you might not have been born right. And that's okay. We don't judge. But your neck's coming at its length.
All of my
So
characters
your
have bad
head
posture.
has to come out here. Your ears here. Usually it comes about right like this. So you want that coming out like that. And usually around here is about your eye level. That's of course the front of the face, the side of the face is here.
I know. Look, so many people I've talked to, like internet artists, they hate drawing side profiles. It's like the bane of their existence, and it is one of my favorite things to do. I think honestly, my faces and head look best from the side.
Well, another thing that people have a problem with on that issue is they think in a flat tone. And what I mean by that is this. Okay, here's this head, boom, and there we go. Okay, eye, blah blah blah. But in actuality, what you need to think about is yes, you have a profile, but the profile is round. And I wish I had the camera on, but it's round, right? Your face. So what you're
Sure
looking
hope
at,
it is.
so here's the
Not
brow,
funny.
right? But you're going to kind of get an idea of the other brow right there.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's coming like this, and like this, like, oh, I'm a mad guy.
It's never perfectly to the side. You just can't.
And you want to be careful because if you move like this,
What was I gonna say? Oh, I think the main reason I like drawing side profiles better is because noses are, God, they're so difficult. I love them to death, but having grown up with anime, no one knows how to draw a nose.
well, okay, when
It's
you do
always
it,
a dot.
okay, well, it's like for instance, when you do a nose, let's say we go from front, all right,
It's so hard to do.
and then I'm
I
gonna
cannot.
use the typical egg-shaped frame, right?
This is
Here,
usual.
forehead, eyeliner, nose, butterfly, here's some ears, ang. So
Why not? Or like a skinny you.
okay, we didn't have to be mean.
Sorry.
Fat shaming your dad. It's just
I didn't call you fat. I said this looks like a skinny you. There's a difference.
all right. So when you look at your nose, your bridge of your nose, just come down here and this, right? And that's how people look at it. But you gotta think the bridge of your nose is coming down the sides here. So
Those are
here's
the
the
planes.
eye. And I don't bring this.
Okay.
over now.
So does the bridge of the nose connects to the brows, right?
Right.
Alright, that's a problem I've had for a long time because I've always subconsciously connected it to eyelids, which does not make sense.
Well, remember now, there's something called the Riley method, and the O'Reilly.
Oh,
Right. I'm gonna say the Riley method.
O'Reilly?
Yeah, because I don't think it's that. I don't think it's a car part method. Where it has a way where everything just kind of like this and that, and I would suggest trying to learn it. Yeah. Well, okay.
What is going on?
Basically, and I'll show you like this. It's basically this. The brow comes here,
Oh.
the nose
Oh my God, no.
like that.
I mean, once you break it down, it makes more sense.
Yeah.
But if I took like a second away and looked back, it's just scribbles.
Right.
I don't know what's going on.
Well, I did it. It was scribbled, but I mean.
But it's the way to do it.
But here's your nose. So your nose kind of comes out here like that, right? And so that helps you. And so what you do is you have a variation.
Yeah.
And I don't normally draw this, realistic type kind of.
I think it looks nice.
Yeah, thank you. But so your nose here, and then of course your mouth. Like so.
What about different nose types? I draw a lot of hooked noses. Is there a way to convey that from a front-facing angle?
Well, it's just like anything else, right? What you want to do is okay, let's just get the brow here. Here, okay. You want a hooked nose, right? You get your nose here, you get your whatever the case is. So just draw it a hook,
I guess that makes sense.
like so. And it just helps you to you can have your layers on it to where it's you think of what was it called? Your contours,
Oh, yeah.
right? So you think of your contours in that sense.
Oh, speaking of contours,
Or a big nose.
you want to know something crazy?
So.
I've probably mentioned this before, but when you watch makeup tutorials, I feel like I've subconsciously learned how to contour faces. Like just from watching other people actually like contour their face.
Vic Medina is on Throwdown and everything,
Yeah.
on Haslam. He actually has talked about watching makeup tutorials
I think it
to
was.
understand
The
contouring
planes,
faces
yeah.
and the colors and stuff. So yeah, that's not surprising.
It's actually helped my coloring.
But I'm going to show you something that really stands out to me, that has always stood out to me. This is from has been considered as Chris Bachalo's best work.
Well, it does look pretty badass.
This is Generation Next. And the one thing that I've always wanted to capture as in my art was, see this face?
Yeah.
All right. See that mouth?
Yeah.
And it's okay, that's not even good enough. Let me bring this down a bit. All right. Like, just okay. The mouth is here, and it's open. And some manga do this. Like this, it's a huge.
Oh yeah, you see it all the time.
Oh yeah, and so, and that's the one thing that always has fascinated me because it's like, okay, we want to draw the teeth in a mouth. Like, okay, here's the teeth. Boom.
Yeah.
But the thing about it is, if you look here, the teeth go in. So it's like a right.
Yeah, exactly.
So, and that's why you want to try to capture in the mouth.
If anyone's ever struggled with teeth, what I do is I cut off a slim piece of paper and I curve it. I fold it like this. And they're obviously not that thin. I really wish I had the camera right now. I would just show it. But it's a great guide as to like what it would look like from different angles.
Yeah.
And I suck at teeth.
Well, you know.
So maybe my voice is helpful, maybe it's not.
Well, I mean, but see, okay, so I'm gonna kind of come down on this. Let's break this down. All right. This is one thing you always want to consider is what's underneath your face. Right? What's underneath your face?
Oh, I hope so.
What's underneath your face? David, answer the question.
Oh, you're asking. Bone.
Bone, what's also known as skull. Right.
Skull is underneath.
So you always want to keep your skull. This is not good. Okay. So here's the skull of that in a way,
It's
right?
definitely a stylized skull, but it still gets the point across.
Well, I mean, say
It's got the basics.
right. You come in, but even with the skull, here's the thing that you want to take into consideration with this. Again, most important to think when you're drawing three-dimensional is three dimensions, right? You want to think of the other side.
Of course.
So you have a curve. You want to come around. You know, like maybe not the way I'm doing this, but and then you draw this on top. There's your skull. And that's how you have to think about it, right? And that's exactly what he's doing here. Is you can actually mouth curves there. He's got a little bit of a curve in there. You can't see the other side of the mouth because of the spittle. Because
The spittle.
the spittle. But it comes around. It's not a straight line, and I think we fall into that trap a lot in straight lines. It's like, oh, we'll just make a straight line. Well, no, it doesn't work that way. Even the teeth are curving. And not only are they curving this way, they're curving down.
Yeah.
Like that. And then if they're on the bottom, they're curving down. No, they're curving up.
From this angle, at least.
Right, from this angle. And of course, you see his teeth back here.
Yeah.
And then there's.
I feel like nothing in your face should be perfectly straight.
In my face? That's so sad. But
We're all a little gay in the face.
wow.
Look, man, the amount of times we've been.
But I also love this eye, right? And one thing that always gets me is I would like the stylized eyes better. So what you end up having is the eye here. But it's like, okay, so here's your eye. And just like that. But it's over. And that's the thing about the eye too. A lot of people miss out. It's a circle. It's a contour. But your eyelids are not.
No.
There's almost a pinch,
Yeah.
right?
Eyelids determine the shape of the eye.
Absolutely.
It's not the ball.
So you pinch.
You gotta think of
your
it
eye.
like a blanket over a circle.
Well, even here, like here on this other eye that he has on this side, you still have the pinch. It's still there, even though it's covering up most of the eye. Even with old girl up here, you See, I've heard it before being said that, like, think of a mouth like a rubber band.
Oh, I've heard that too.
Yeah, and so if you want to take that consideration, it's like, okay, and now I've got her mouth.
I don't really understand that, to be honest.
Okay,
What is it a reference to?
all right. Like, okay,
Stretchy
take one of those
mouths?
fat rubber bands. Have you ever seen one of those fat rubber bands? You know,
I think I've ever seen an overweight rubber band. No, okay, maybe I think I know.
it's a thick rubber band. It's a thick. Okay, so it's like this,
Bullshit.
right? But here's the deal. So you can take a rubber band and shape it like this. It's
Oh, I guess that's a good point.
what it helps you to do, as far as the mouth is concerned, is to think about the muscles that control the mouth. So you have a restriction to it.
Okay, like a rubber band.
Like a rubber band. Like, see, okay, my mouth is only this big, right? It's only like this, right? So now I want to shape it, but it's not going to be bigger than that. I'm not making it smaller. I'm not making it bigger. I'm just messing around with that one shape.
Yeah, okay.
So it can help us do that. A smile can come like that, and it's not so much that it helps in a stylized way, but it helps you think of how you want to do a mouth. For instance, like teeth,
Beautiful teeth.
yeah, or a frown, right? Looks like a rubber band, and I'll have to get a rubber band and let you see an overweight rubber band, as you like to say it. And remember, your teeth are curving down. It's like, oh no, life sucks. And my lips are here. My nose are here. Oh, life. but what's always pointing me to that is this image here. So,
It's a
Hey.
good image.
yeah.
There's a lot of stuff going on. Really scratch this.
And I don't
What
think,
is that?
And we haven't scratched the surface here, but I'm going to go ahead and end it.
All right.
All right. So what do you think you've learned?
I really want to punch him. Like really bad. He's too good. We gotta take him out early.
I don't feel like we really could scratch the surface on the things that Bachalo has done. You know, but I don't feel like
I got to see you draw. I'm satisfied.
Thank
Always
you.
Good streams.
All
when
right.
you draw.
Well, guess what? Because what I'm planning on doing next week is I want to look at various vehicle designs.
Something you're good at. Something I've never
I
even tried.
horrible at vehicle
Are
design.
you kidding?
Oh yeah, I'm serious.
I've seen
Like,
your original like Star Wars. What did I just? What do they call them? Spaceships. That's the one.
oh my gosh,
seen your
you think those are good?
Yes.
Uh,
You're crazy, dude. If you really want to think you're good, you should get me to try and draw for the spaceship.
well, you know what? Maybe next week.
Nope. Unless you pay me.
Well, it's all about contouring. Again,
I like contouring.
I do. I
People
love contouring.
specifically, nothing else.
Right. You like, wait, what?
Nope. I will not do vehicles.
Well, you know what? But you want to expand. You're going to get bored, people.
Probably. One day, but not yet.
Not yet. Like, what the hell is
What?
that?
Is it like a chubby plane?
Yeah, kind of.
I like it.
At least Mike learned a lot. Thank you for tonight. I learned a lot. I'm
Thank
glad.
God. Someone.
I look forward to next week. I'm sorry it wasn't as long. I have been feeling under the weather, and then with the technical stuff. And when you kind of focus on one artist, it gets a little hard to pull out a lot of stuff.
That's true.
But like I said, I always like to try to keep these under. I would like to keep them
Keep
under 45 minutes,
under.
but I don't normally.
No, we've already gone over, and this was supposed to be a short one.
Right. So again, but go check out Bachalo. Always go check out Bachalo. Go, and you know what? The good thing about this is, do this. If you have a digital program, find these type of artworks, pull them up, put the rule of thirds on it, put the golden ratio on it, pull out the solids, find the flow and stuff, because we didn't even go over the triangles and things like that. Yeah, well, remember we use triangles
yes.
for composition. So, but and put that on there. And if you don't have a digital program to do it, get some tracing paper. find some comics or find whatever you're going for and do that. You're always going to benefit. And
Tracing.
From tracing. Well,
You'd be surprised.
yeah, I'm surprised.
Steal a little bit.
Oh wow.
What a fun way to say a normal thing, right?
Anyway, till next week.
Oh.
Jaden, where can we find you?
You can find my Facebook under Jaden Lanning. I post sometimes. I've got stuff with Ron Moltari and Daphne Lage. Go check out the Ego Raven cover, so she'll hire me again. Ego Raven, I've learned her back and front. Like, I could probably drop her to sleep at this point.
Well,
Anyway, where can they find you?
They can find me at landingart.com. That's LENNING art.com. Of course, right back here next week on Arts.com and Comedy, Sketchy Saturday. And of course, on Thursday nights with Chad Perkins, where we do random sayings of various persuasions, RSVP, where we just talk about whatever the hell we
Said
want to
that
talk
first go. I'm so proud of you.
That's right, because I am a professional, except for tonight. I can't take it. Until next week, thanks for tuning in. Bye.